Sophie Cunningham owned Jacy Sheldon from the same game that Marina Mabrey did the massive body slam into Caitlin Clark on. She still owns Jacy. She still owns Jacy Sheldon. And what's great is she's got a great sense of humor about it, and she's not shy about it. I mean, what are they going to do?
See, she's the problem. She is the problem.
What happens when a rising superstar like Caitlin Clark becomes the league's biggest target, and one of her teammates finally says, "Enough is enough"? That's exactly what went down when Sophie Cunningham put the entire WNBA on notice, turning a brewing rivalry into one of the season's most unforgettable moments. And it wasn't just what she did on the floor. It was what she wrote after the game that had fans losing their minds.
This is kind of crazy. This one is kind of crazy. When you get Sophie Cunningham to sign a Jacy Sheldon rookie card with property of, that is crazy. That is crazy. Property of Sophie Cunningham.
For weeks, Fever fans had been watching the same frustrating movie on repeat. Caitlin Clark, the league's brightest new star, was getting hit, bumped, and shoved every game. And one name kept popping up: Jacy Sheldon.
Quarter we go. They're trailing by 10. Keep an eye on her and Jacy Sheldon. Clark trying to back her down.
Clark is okay.
Sheldon, that was Clark, hitting her in the face. Clark is upset about that. Then everybody's upset about that. Marina Mabrey comes in. She decks Clark, tempers flaring on both sides.
Sheldon wasn't just competing hard. She was building a reputation for accidental contact that somehow always landed on Clark. From hand checks to unnecessary bumps, she made it clear that Caitlin was going to feel her presence. But this wasn't just another rookie trying to make a name. It was the beginning of a rivalry, one that Sophie Cunningham wasn't about to ignore.
Sophie commits a hard foul on Jacy Sheldon. Again, as Jacy Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased here, but I'm gonna give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional.
Then came the game that changed everything. Indiana was already trailing. Tensions were high, and emotions were boiling over. Jacy Sheldon fouled Clark hard, hitting her in the face. Tempers flared. But before anyone could calm down, Marina Mabrey decided to audition for the NFL. She body slammed Clark after the whistle in one of the most reckless plays of the season.
It was, to me, payback for what was happening the entire game. But she did it in a way that she wasn't going to injure Jacy. She was just making it known, like, if the refs aren't going to handle it, I will handle it. We'll take care of it, but this is not what you're going to do when you come into our house. It was an intentional foul. It was a hard foul. She brought her down. But with that, you guys, Jacy Sheldon got up and she was ready to go. So as you guys can see in this video, a whole scuffle breaks out. Sophie and Jacy are going after it. Both teams are running over, trying to break it up. It kind of goes into the fan section a little bit.
The arena erupted. Fans were furious. Clark, already targeted all night, was now flat on the court. And through all the chaos, one Fever player made a choice that would flip the script.
Would take her rightful place as the Indiana Fever enforcer, and I believe took the first step to her becoming the second most popular player in the WNBA. Sophie Cunningham is everywhere. Arby's walking in. She's the best looking woman walking into these WNBA arenas. I mean, black belt Barbie, anybody? Black belt Barbie.
Sophie Cunningham wasn't having it. She didn't file complaints with the refs. She didn't look for excuses. She handled it the old school way. Later in the game, Sophie met Jacy Sheldon with a hard, clean foul. The kind you don't forget. It wasn't reckless, it wasn't dirty, but it was loud and crystal clear. Target Caitlyn again, and you'll regret it.
Is hilarious. It really is. Indiana Fever star takes humorous jab at Caitlin Clark villain. You got to love a Iowa Hawkeyes Wire headline. That's really good. That's Jacy Sheldon. Congratulations. That's all you're known as. The chick that was mean to Caitlin Clark. That's your legacy. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, you've been traded, and I don't think you're much of a basketball player.
That one play changed the entire energy of the game. Fever fans went wild. For the first time, they saw a teammate stand up for Clark with action, not words. Sophie had just declared herself Indiana's enforcer.
I just think, and you know way better than me,
Yeah.
but like, it just feels like people are jealous of this new little wave of.
They are, but I just hate that because, like, this is what we've always wanted as a league. So, like, who cares who gets the credit? And if you're smart, you're making money off of them.
Yeah.
Like, you are literally making money from the viewership.
And why bully the person who is like not 100% responsible, but like has a huge role in growing your sport?
Dude, and it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
With Sophie wasn't finished. Days later, at a Fever fan event, she took things to another level. A fan handed her a Jacy Sheldon rookie card and asked her to sign it. Instead of a simple autograph, Sophie smirked, grabbed a pen, and wrote across the front, "Property of Sophie Cunningham."
See, she's the problem. She is the problem.
The crowd lost it. Lexi Hull, sitting next to Sophie, was doubled over in laughter. Social media exploded. Memes, retweets, and captions flooded timelines. This wasn't just a signature. It was a mic drop. And here's the thing. Sophie didn't backpedal. No, I was only kidding. No half-hearted apology. She owned it. That's when fans knew this wasn't just a one-off moment. Sophie was setting a tone for the entire WNBA.
No, in the first half, the refs didn't call. Someone should have been thrown out, and the refs did not call it.
Correct. I remember that.
They didn't. And so I was like, all right.
She got full body
dude,
chested.
by 3 people.
Yeah.
Like 2 people, and they're like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, if that was anyone else, I would have been booted out of the game. I know that for sure. I'm a little sassy, but like, so are they.
Your leash is shorter though, because they know.
Literally. I don't even have a leash. I just have a freaking collar and a hand on it. Anyway, so there was like 45 seconds left. The girl stole the ball, and I was running back, and I was like, we're up. I don't need to foul. And I was like, just let her go. And I was like, all right, like, who cares? Last second, intrusive thoughts. I was like, fuck it.
Here's the truth. Every superstar needs backup. Jordan had teammates who took the technical fouls for him. Curry has Draymond. Gretzky had a literal enforcer skating by his side.
Sophie Cunningham has been Caitlin Clark's biggest cheerleader and defender.
And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What? When people try to argue that she's not the face of our league, or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as.
The sad truth about this video we just watched is she is the first WNBA player I have seen to openly say this out loud, publicly, and not be ashamed in declaring it.
But in the WNBA, Clark didn't have that protection, at least not until Sophie stepped in. The league and the refs hadn't done much to protect their biggest draw, so Sophie decided she'd do it herself. That property of Sophie Cunningham moment wasn't just about Sheldon. It was about telling the entire league, if you come for Caitlyn, you're going to have to go through me.
She's got all the aura right now, all of it. Got the podcast, and a damn good one. I mean, when's the next podcast drop? news is getting slow. There's got to be at least 3 or 4 good things in every Sophie Cunningham podcast.
Now here's what makes Sophie different from the typical enforcer role. She's not some end-of-the-bench player getting minutes just to throw fouls. She's producing at a high level.
Caitlin Clark is the reason we have been talking about the WNBA. Hate it or love it, it's true. I don't believe that Caitlin Clark necessarily wants that title that everyone has been giving to her. I think she just wants to be appreciated. And Sophie Cunningham, she just seems like such a real one, such a good friend. I think especially with women, especially elite level athletes, there's a lot of people, women, who will kind of stab you in the back. There's a lot of jealousy, a lot of resentment, especially when you're good. But Sophie just seems like such a girl's girl. I really, really like her. Maybe Caitlin Clark should do the next American Eagle campaign, or Sophie.
Since the All-Star break, Sophie's been torching defenses, dropping double-digit points, and drilling threes like she owns the arc. Against Phoenix, she delivered 18 when the Fever desperately needed buckets. She's playing some of the best basketball of her career, all while setting the physical tone. That mix of toughness and production, that's rare. And it's why fans have quickly put Sophie right behind Clark as the most beloved player on the Fever.
One of the biggest stars the WNBA's ever
Who's that?
had. Her name rhymes with Schmaitland.
Kirtland?
Yeah. What has that been like, seeing her not only kind of transform a league, but also just be like,
No,
is that fair to say? Okay.
not even just the league, but like
The
women's
sport?
basketball as a whole around the world. No, I think it's awesome. I think it's so funny because she's like 22, 23 years old and the whole world is watching her.
The other side of this story, Jacy Sheldon. Instead of being known for her actual game, she's become more famous for fouling Caitlin Clark and for being the punchline to Sophie's autograph. Think about it. Drafted 5th overall, traded multiple times already, and now her biggest headline is getting claimed by Cunningham with a pen. That's not the reputation any rookie wants, but Sophie made sure it stuck.
God, I wish we had more teammates, or I wish more teammates of Caitlin Clark would get this fired up when their transcendent superstar, who's now hurt and has missed half the games this year, has been the target, that some of the other players would get a little bit aggressive on behalf of Caitlin Clark. Get in between something. You never, this is in the NBA. Every team in hockey, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, these transcendent stars, it's always the goon, the enforcer. In this case, Sophie Cunningham, normally these guys, they're not really putting up numbers. The difference here is Sophie Cunningham is a real basketball player and a hell of a good one.
This is why that autograph mattered so much. It wasn't petty. It was about identity. For Fever fans, it said, "We're not letting our star get bullied anymore." It became a rallying point, a meme, a brand. Fans started calling Sophie Black Belt Barbie. Merch ideas popped up online with "Property of Sophie Cunningham" across them. Even neutral fans respected it because it wasn't just tough. It was funny, it was bold, and it was authentic. That build culture. They give teams an edge and fans a reason to believe their squad is united. For the Fever, that's priceless.
And you got tossed?
And it was 2-on-1. Yeah, I got tossed.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we're good. But so in a situation like that, does Caitlin come up to you after and say like, because the internet whole thing was, look at fucking Sophie sticking up for Caitlin, like this is dope.
But I was.
No, I know you were.
But in the locker room, I think she was like, finally, finally someone else. I was like, dude, I got you. Like but I think that kind of had our team come together as a whole. And it's like, no, we gotta have like, it was
awesome.
Yeah, no, it really was though. Like, I feel like everyone was like, like we do have to protect each other. And
At the end of the day, Sophie Cunningham didn't just foul Jacy Sheldon. She didn't just sign a card. She drew a line in the sand. She told the league that Caitlin Clark isn't walking alone anymore. And she told fans exactly what kind of teammate she is. So now the question is simple. Was Sophie's Property of Sophie Cunningham moment the perfect clapback? Or did she just pour gasoline on the fire? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you love stories like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment from Fever Nation. Because one thing's for sure, Sophie Cunningham just changed the conversation in the WNBA.